Hello, I'm Michaela. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Today we are here to talk about Requiem of the Rose King. I'm going to be doing a little thing anime versus manga, but I'm only talking about episodes 1 through 6 in this one. I have other videos I'm going to break it down each episode because most manga readers, or just about all of the manga readers who read the manga before the anime came out, were just very outraged and upset and just very disappointed in the anime that they were given, because there was a lot of stuff cut and censored. So I'm going to get to the bottom of this and see if their rage is real, or if it's, I can't think of the word, maybe I'll put it somewhere. Anyway, so let's get into it. I'm going to shine some light on this, and hopefully you'll still enjoy the anime or even read the manga too. It's pretty good. Really good, actually. I've taken some time to read the manga, and then I rewatched the anime and was actually following along in the manga. So that was fun. And there is a lot of freeze framing and not enough animation. It's the War of the Roses. The York/the White Roses versus the Lancasters versus the Red Roses, or /Red Roses, that's what I meant. There's fighting and bloodshed, or at least there should be. So censorship is real in this anime. I'm not happy about it. So when it comes to blood or anything horrific, you'll see some very colorful silhouettes or shadows. It's interesting, but I would only like it in certain situations, and you'll know what I'm talking about later on. So let's see, let me talk about what it's actually about. On the Viz Media website, they describe it as a gothic tinge drama that gives a new gender bend twist to Shakespeare's Richard III. In my own words, Requiem of the Rose King is just about who's gonna be king. It's like a battle, but he's not fit for king, he can't be king, blah blah blah. It goes back and forth. You know what I'm talking about when you watch it. You should still watch it anyway, just to see what I'm really talking about. So, Richard III, played by Kieran Strange, was born with the characteristics of both sexes. His mother despises him because he's intersex, and calls him a demon child and how cursed he is. He grows up tormented by these visions of England's former foe, Joan of Arc, played by Kaylee McKee. She was a French warrior woman and who fought for her people in the 100 Years' War. She's always saying that Richard will bring ruin to all and he will forever be alone. So, Richard believes that he can get some kind of salvation by helping his father, the Duke of York, who's also, played by J. Michael Tatum, whose name is also Richard. So they have this bond, and he loves Richard, and Richard deserves to be loved. So, I love that for him. Alright, some kind of form of love. Now we're going to get into these episodes. Episode 1. The encounter between Richard and Henry, I feel like, was missing something, because there is a flashback of Henry seeing his mom doing something. It wasn't really clear in the manga at the moment, but I'm sure I'll get to it when I keep on reading. Oh, by the way, comment down below just in case I missed something that was cut from the manga in a certain episode. I would love to hear all your thoughts in the comments below. So back to that flashback part. I feel like we were missing, that we could have got more insight on, what's his name, Henry. We could have learned there's something more about him, but like, we should keep an eye on him and such and such. Alright, I'm just going to move on to episode 2. Richard has been dying to get on the battlefield and with his father, because he has been practicing and he's been with his swordsmanship and riding horses, because you know how they do in the little, back in the day. Yeah, okay. Anyway. But his mother denies his wish. She looks concerned in the moment in front of his father, but really she's not. And she says this to Richard: Your words will become a curse, one that spells doom for others. I'll tell you right now, you're not gonna like Cecily, which is the mom. She locks I can't speak. She locks Richard in the tower, while the Duke of York is battling against the Lancasters and Queen Margaret. But eventually he does get captured. And this was not included in the anime. It could have been included at the end of the episode 2 or at the start of episode 3. In the manga, Richard learns about his father's death in a church. Alright. Episode 3. Richard lacks the facial expressions that are, or I probably could mention this earlier on as well. There's a lot of lack of expressions and emotions that were portrayed in the manga but not in the actual anime. But you do see him like blushing every now and then and maybe like a smirk or something, but they missed opportunities. Maybe it's because of animation or more laziness, but I don't know. Anyway, let's see. We missed a conversation between Edward and Elizabeth while in bed, but then I see that later on. I don't know. The order is weird as well. I don't know what they were trying to do here, but they should have just kept it like it was in the manga, which is Edward was talking about a fairy tale that is referring to no one can defy destiny, while the images of Henry appear and he finally meets Richard again. The scene where Henry and Richard fall into the river, it was choppy. In the manga, what's cut from the anime is where we see Edward of Lancaster wondering what kind of relationship his father has with Richard. Do I smell some jealousy? That's what it is. I would have liked to see him see these lines from the manga. Not content with the throne, now he intends to steal everything from me. All the while with that innocent, simple look on his face. Okay, and now moving on to episode 5. Warwick finalizing the engagement between France. You get a look at the King of France, and let me tell you, there's a lot of faceless characters in this anime, and I don't know why. Again, with the lack of animation, because why they gotta make them faceless? Or censor? I don't know. It's weird, because they definitely have some faces in the manga. The conversation between Edward and Elizabeth, more of Elizabeth's antics and fake sadness, convinces Edward of York, and just make sure y'all staying with me. Sometimes it gets confusing. Edward of York, Edward of Lancaster, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So, Edward's giving her family to give them suitable positions, positions at the castle or palace, where are they living at? Alright, now, they also cut the scene where Richard approaches Henry, but he didn't even know it at the time. He thought the former king sounded like Henry, but he doubted himself, and there's a lot of once again, missed opportunities to give Richard, show the audience of more layers to him. Probably not a big deal to you guys, but they also cut out that little, but not really, a conversation between Buckingham and Richard. Buckingham sees Warwick is leaving with Richard, so he pokes his head out of the carriage and asks, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" Warwick addresses Buckingham as Lord Buckingham, and then you see in the manga, Richard thinks Buckingham. So I thought, maybe he remembers that they had some kind of impact, their little conversation earlier, so he remembers him. So, something. I thought that would have been important to include. Plus, Richard saying Buckingham is really a child, because since he was riding in the carriage. And a little funny moment. I don't know. Alright, lastly for this episode, we have episode 6. Sometimes, or a lot of the times, they'll put scenes where it shouldn't be. Kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier. It only confuses the viewers, and the manga is written in a certain way, in a certain order, for a reason. They could have tried harder. I don't know. For example, I mentioned even earlier about Edward of Lancaster, talking about his father's relationship with Richard. Well, they decided to throw that in there when Margaret and Edward were talking to the King of France. And this is the moment where Warwick is asking for the Lancasters' help since he also feels betrayed by Edward of York. Why doesn't the King of France, again, have a face? I don't know. So, random thing here. I didn't know that Anne was the oldest sister until I read Volume 4. Margaret wanted some kind of proof of Warwick's loyalty or love. She wanted him to offer her eldest daughter as a wife to her son. Okay. Anyway, they also cut how Edward of York was reminiscing about the past a little bit, talking about how Richard was a sickly baby and they were not permitted to touch him. This could have been something to let us know or remind us of that Richard's brothers had no idea about him being intersex. Alright, they also cut out his flashback where George and Edward were younger. They were playing hide and seek. But what stands out is that Edward says people must simply accept the positions to them by fate. Next page is back to the present George. He's with Warwick and they're talking about how the commoners are not happy about the current king. Then George says, "It was not my brother's destiny to become king." Then it's become full circle since George says the same thing his brother said to him years ago. People must simply accept the positions allotted to them by fate. Only this time it has a heavier meaning. And that is where I'm going to end this video. I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment down below your thoughts on episodes 1 through 6. And if you read the manga, tell me if I missed anything that you would have liked to be included. Alright. And I hope you will make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos in the future. Because I will be doing this again. But we're going by episodes, okay? And I'm reading along the manga to see what was cut. And depending on how much I have to say about each episode, I might have even more episodes. Like, I don't have enough storage to have so many episodes and talk about what's happening in the manga, you know? We can only do so much. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, follow me on Twitter and Instagram so you don't miss what I'm doing to stay updated. I'm Michaela. I will see you later. Bye.